You are now watching Fourth and Inches.
I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to them boys that sat on them benches, boy. I was in the game on 4th inches. Coach put me in the game on 4th inches. Put me in the game on 4th inches. Coach put me in the game on 4th inches. And I'ma lead them boys at the line of scrimmage.
All right, y'all, welcome back, man. 4th and Inches, live from the locker room with my boy Rodriguez.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to make this one short and sweet, man. We ain't really got much to talk about. We on the Big Ten today, a.k.a. Ohio State, Michigan, and the rest of them. With all disrespect, I mean that. But nah, on a serious note, though. You know, everybody know Ohio State the favorite. You know, you got C.J. Stroud. You got all the receivers that they got, because they got a bunch of them. I don't even want to try to listen, because I'm going to miss somebody.
I don't know who all they got. I know they lost. They top two, though.
No, they didn't.
Chris Olave and
was 2 and 3. They number one. They still back. Smith and Jigba. I hope I say his name right.
So he jumped in front of Chris Olave because he was their number one receiver.
He was their number one receiver last year. Smith and Jigba. Number one receiver in catches and yards. Not in touchdowns, though. He was number 3 in touchdowns. But he back. Marvin Harrison Jr. back. Like I say, bro, they got a lot. We'll be here all day trying to list all their receivers. You know what I mean? You got Travion Henderson, who is one of the best running backs in the country. He back. The only real question about Ohio State is going to be what their defense can do. You know, that's been their weakness the last 3-4 years. Anytime somebody just lined up and ran the ball right at them, they ain't really had too much of an ounce. Or anytime somebody was able to give their quarterback time to throw on them, they ain't really had much of an ounce. So even though they had star, cornerbacks, their linebackers been the weak point on their defense. So we're going to see if they fix that. They brought in Oklahoma State's defensive coordinator. They were real good last year, so maybe he can fix what they got going on. What you think?
He might be able to. He might be able to. I don't know. That's to be seen.
Facts.
That's to be seen.
So, like I said, everybody know Ohio State the favorite. Outside of Ohio State, though, who else do you believe has a real chance to challenge Ohio State?
I think Michigan will be able to challenge them again.
Think so?
Yeah. I think Michigan. And I ain't gonna really say be able to challenge Ohio State in the sense of like winning the division or whatever.
But they in the same division.
I know, yeah, no. I ain't talking about Michigan now. I'm talking about this next team.
Okay.
It's just a team that tend to play hard against the Ohio State and Michigan squads. And that's Purdue. Purdue, they play hard. They play Penn State hard. They play Michigan hard. They play anytime they play any of them three, Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State, they play them boys hard. Well, another one is Iowa.
Okay, so if I was Ohio State or Michigan, I would have no fear whatsoever of Iowa. Because even as good as their defense was last year, I watched their defense get exposed because they lack foot speed. Purdue, I actually like Purdue, man. They feisty.
Yeah.
Purdue reminds me of Kentucky for real, or South Carolina in the SEC. Like, they really, they really ain't supposed to be as good as they are, but they still be bucking.
Exactly.
So
that's one of them sleeper teams where they know Purdue. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a small school. We're going here and do what we got to do. We'll take care of business. But if we're going here acting like we just straight up better than these boys,
you will get embarrassed.
Yes, sir.
Ask Ohio State.
Yeah, they know that. They know that firsthand.
Speaking of Purdue, so we're going to get to see what they got early in the season because they start the season off with Penn State.
Yeah.
Now, if they can beat Penn State, they got a good chance, But at the same time, if Penn State loses to Purdue, what does that say about James Franklin and the Nittany Lions this year? After getting that massive contract extension at the end of last season.
You see what they say about him?
Yeah, what they say about him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they like him, but
man,
what have you done to deserve it?
When you Penn State, you can't be consistently losing to Purdue. And there's no disrespect to Purdue, but you Penn State. You know what I mean? Like, you got to shake back. You know, that quarterback got hurt last year, which kind of derailed their season, but he's back healthy. So, you know, we'll see how it turn out.
But yeah, also we got Nebraska and Northwestern opening up the season against each other. That's gonna be another good one.
I like Nebraska. Nebraska lost like 6 games by one position or less last year. So, and it's a do or die year for Scott Frost. You know, he back home at his alma mater. So,
yeah, but that's a conference game.
It's definitely a conference game.
And Northwestern is the home team.
Yeah, but I mean,
Nebraska
Nebraska
hadn't been great. Northwestern they is, but Nebraska ain't been great now. So it ain't no guarantee.
No.
It ain't like no undoubtedly Nebraska gonna win that game. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not. Now let me not sell Northwestern short, but it's like I just believe that Nebraska is gonna turn the corner this year and at least make a bowl game.
And on top of that, on the other side of the conference, Purdue is the home team when Penn State go there, and that's Purdue is home when they beat Ohio. They beat the snot out of Ohio State in this first game of the season. So that's gonna be a good, and it's the 8 p.m. game.
And not only does Penn State open with Purdue, they got Auburn in 2 weeks after that, and they gotta go to Auburn. So
Penn State.
Yeah, so Penn State, you gonna know what they got early this season.
They was talking about them having them games like that. So they was like, Penn State could start they season off 2-1 or 1-3. You know what I'm saying?
Easily,
like,
you know. But we'll see how it shake out though.
But Auburn got a new head coach. No, it's the second year.
It's the same coach. Yep.
So we're gonna see what they make out too.
They're gonna have a new quarterback though. Zach Calzada transferred in.
Yeah.
TJ Finley still there. It was another guy that had in the quarterback competition because you know Bo Nix transferred to Oregon.
Yeah.
Tank Bigsby still there, who is personally my personal feeling is the best running back in the country.
Tank Bigsby?
Yes. I felt that way last year. So
Tank Bigsby, you think he's the best running back in the country?
If he was anywhere but Auburn, I don't think it'd be much of a discussion.
How you figure that though?
Because you put Tank Bigsby behind Georgia offensive line, getting the same carries he was getting, he'd have been 1,500 or more yard rushers.
So what happened?
Put him behind Alabama offensive line, he'd have been 1,500 yard rushers.
We had a bad offensive line last year.
No, y'all didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all just didn't run the ball consistently.
No, we had a bad line. That's why we didn't run it consistently.
Your line
we had a bad line.
No.
I'm telling you.
I watched them run the ball when they wanted to run the ball.
I'm telling you, from a Alabama fan standpoint who watch every game, keep up with the stats, and you know what I'm saying.
What did Alabama do against Arkansas?
But you gotta look at their defense. They played
What did they do against Cincinnati?
A 3-man defense.
I can't help that.
We threw the ball all over them.
Arkansas, Cincinnati, both supposed to have 2 of the top defenses in the country. Y'all ran the ball all over them people like that. Whatever.
But that's because of the defense Arkansas played. That was the same defense. Who else played that same?
Georgia
defense?
run a 3-man D line.
I think Ole Miss did that same thing.
Georgia ran a 3-man D line.
Nah, they blitzed a lot though. So even though it might have been a 3-man, it was still about 5 or 6 of them coming at a time.
Listen, man. When Alabama decide they want to run the ball, they can run the ball.
Yeah, they can. But back on topic with Tank Bigsby being behind a better line. Okay, so what do you think B.J. Robinson will do behind Georgia line?
I think B.J. Robinson have a lot of yards, but I don't think he's better than Tank Bigsby. That's just personal. That's just a personal thing, though. Like, I feel like you can put Jamar Gibbs in the same conversation. Travion Henderson, Ohio State, in that same conversation.
Well, we finna find out what Gibbs got. They ain't gonna really made up for sure.
If y'all give him the ball
this year, he gonna get the ball running and receiving out the backyard.
I believe he's gonna catch a lot of passes,
yeah. Cause he was good out the backfield.
I put it
so
like
this.
That
play into our hands.
My prediction for what they're gonna do with Jamar Gibbs in y'all offense, I feel like he's gonna have about 20 touches between catching and running. But he probably he's not gonna get 20 carries in many games.
You think so?
No, because y'all offense ain't that. Y'all want to throw the ball all the time. Y'all really want to go air raid. That's really what y'all want to do. Y'all been an air raid offense with a good running back. You know. Y'all can hate on Brian Robinson. I like Brian Robinson.
I like Brian Robinson too.
Alabama offensive coordinator ain't like it too much.
I mean,
he ain't getting the ball enough. That's all I'm saying.
That was his first year there. So he got dang.
He better tighten up.
He was with the air raid too, coming from Houston. That's what he had Deshaun Watson doing, slinging that ball around. So that's his style. He prefers slinging it around. So that's why he ain't care too much about the run. But yeah, you know, the year before when we had Sarkisian, he mixing it up, but he was kind of air raid too. When you think about it, a lot
Sarkisian
of
really ain't air raid though. Sarkisian is more throw the playbook out the way. I'm gonna just draw something up type. Like him and Lane Kiffin, they just be drawing stuff up.
It worked.
I ain't say it didn't work. They some offensive geniuses. Yeah. I just wouldn't hire him as my head coach.
I mean, it depends on where they go.
Like, think about it. Sarkisian and Kiffin was on the offensive staff. Like, Lane Kiffin was the offensive coordinator. Steve Sarkisian was I think, the quarterback's coach and his assistant coach. When they had Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Lindell White, and all them. I mean, Lane Kiffin was calling them plays.
Both of them, I'd like to have either one of them back as our offensive coordinator.
Of course you would.
Either one of them.
Of course you would. But we're getting off topic though. Yeah. Speaking of offensive coordinators, Michigan had to replace their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. So I don't know what to expect from them other than they just gonna run the ball.
Alabama do it every year or so.
Who said something about Alabama? We talking about the Big Ten?
Yeah, we are. Michigan. But you talking about replacing the coordinators? Like,
yeah, they replace both of them at the same time.
I don't know. They still got Harbaugh. He probably just gonna run the ball like you said. But that's been their style anyway. That's what he like.
You know they don't do that.
Even when they had the quarterback Shea Patterson, they'll sling it a little bit, but they prefer to run the ball.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Another Georgia. It's a different conference.
Yeah. Georgia has not run the ball like that since.
That's why Trey Burton.
Who?
Trey Burton.
Jermaine Burton
won championship ring with y'all boys and still transferred to Alabama because he want that ball. And y'all ain't finna throw that ball like that.
Jermaine Burton ain't never been no better than the third option.
He ain't never had a chance to be when you don't throw the ball.
You can't be better than that.
Pickens ain't even get the ball through to him a lot like that.
Yes, he did.
Shit.
How you feel?
I'll tell you who ate and who was comfortable with how many times they got the ball, and that was Bowers.
They were forcing Brock Bowers.
If your name wasn't Brock Bowers, you weren't finna get that ball all kind of way.
Oh, so you talking about last season specifically?
Yeah, you got to be wide open.
Last season specifically, Jermaine Burton was hurt the whole year. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how he was hurt the whole year.
That man wasn't hurt, bro.
Man, that man was hurt. That man missed games and everything because he was hurt. Kiara Jackson was hurt most of the year.
Pickens missed games too.
Pickens missed the whole season for real until the end there. And he still wasn't himself for real. He'll tell you that.
I know.
He get back in form now though.
Oh, you seen a couple of highlights on in the NFL and he getting back to himself.
It ain't the highlights.
It ain't like he got Minka Fitzpatrick lined up opposite of him.
You can put Minka out there, Minka can't hold him. But that's not my point. That's not my point though. My point is, it ain't even. I ain't talking about a couple highlights. It's the way he moved. It made me feel like he back to himself. You know what I mean? Like the way he can cut, coming off of ACL, that'd always be the thing. Like, can you trust the knee to cut off?
Fighting at Georgia Tech.
He put the pause on.
Yeah, Georgia Tech dude messed him up. He ain't been the same since then. Now he's finally getting back to form.
That man put the pause on that boy and threw him into the ring. That was an unfair fight. The boy from Georgia Tech started and he got to stay in the game. I was hot by that one, low key.
Put a pause on Pickens, man. Pickens ain't been right since then. But he's like you say, he getting back to form now though.
He getting back to form. Well, anyway, with Michigan though, to me, it's all going to depend on what they get from the quarterback situation. Because they got both of their quarterbacks back. Oh man, what is the dude's name? J.J. McCartney and Cade McNamara.
Yeah, they was talking about them too.
So I think both of them gonna play again like they did last year.
The one that was a true freshman last year though.
J.J. McCartney.
Okay, so they're saying he probably not gonna start, but he definitely gonna see the field.
I'm gonna be real with you.
You think he's good enough to start?
I don't know, but I feel like their offense is so much more dynamic with him in there because he can run. But I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's far enough along in his passing to say, yeah, he should be your starter. Like Cade McNamara is a true, refined passer.
Well, the only way they're gonna be able to get him right in this passing is to put him in the game.
I don't know. We'll see. Jim Harbaugh know better than me. He an NFL quarterback, you know. played at the University of Michigan and all that. So you would think he know what he's doing.
I'm surprised he's still the head coach of that.
I ain't. He one of theirs, man. He one of theirs. Look at Scott Frost in Nebraska. That man ain't had a winning season yet. He been there 4 years. He one of theirs.
I'm surprised because they got him up there in hopes to go somewhere. Michigan ain't. Well, they came close last year.
Michigan been good the whole time. They just couldn't beat Ohio State.
Exactly.
The whole time he been there, they been good. He just couldn't beat Ohio State.
I know in the SEC, if you lose to your rival 4 seasons in a row, they don't care how many wins you got as a team. You lose to your rival, that's like Alabama losing 4 years in a row to Auburn. You know how much trash they're gonna talk about Nick Saban. Same thing with Kirby Smart. Let y'all lose to Florida 4 years in a row. They're gonna be like, man, he can't beat Florida. We got to find something else. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this is true, but the difference in that is Jim Harbaugh is like what Mark Richt was when he first came to Georgia, right? When Mark Richt first came to Georgia, they had lost to Georgia Tech, Tennessee, Florida, 4 years in a row. Matter of fact, it was probably more than that, but I know it was like them 4 years in a row.
They lost to all 4 of them?
Like all 3 of them, like 4 years in a row. Something crazy like that, right? So he come in, he losing to Florida a lot, but he smacking Tennessee. He smacking Auburn. He smacking Georgia Tech. You know what I mean? Even the games they losing to Florida, they was in every one of them, but like one. And he was getting some dubs against Florida. You know what I mean? Like that's what Jim Harbaugh is. Jim Harbaugh coming in, y'all done been getting thrashed. Y'all were going 7-5. Now you're going 10-2 every year, 9-3 every year. Like you made a big step up.
But they keep losing to Ohio State.
True. So it was you have to ask yourself, why are you leaving Ohio State? What does Ohio State got that you ain't got?
The mentality to win.
I don't think it's the mentality.
I think they lose minimum.
I think it's the financials.
So you think Ohio State get paid more?
It ain't that Ohio State get paid. Ohio State's athletic department allows their football team to spend the money that they need to spend, getting the coaches that they need to get, getting the support staff, on the recruiting trail, all that kind of stuff.
So you don't think Michigan?
I know Michigan don't. I know they don't.
So
These people done wrote stories about this.
In other words, you saying they treating Harbaugh how Georgia did Mark Richt?
See how I did that? See how I let you do that? I did that.
Nah, man, they got the NIL. Everybody know they got to pay.
They got NIL now, but you got to remember they just started. They just started. You feel what I'm saying? And even with NIL, okay, I can't go. Give you an example. Ohio State just hired Oklahoma State's defensive coordinator. He was the hottest assistant hire in the country, right? Mm-hmm. You think Michigan was gonna pay that man that money they were gonna take to move him from Oklahoma State to Michigan? You think Michigan will pay the money it would take to get somebody like Steve Sarkisian to come be our offensive coordinator?
I think they would.
I don't think they would. Matter of fact, I know they would, because they had to replace 2 coordinators. All they did was promote the people that was already there. So they ain't have to pay that big check. You feel what I'm saying? Like Georgia went and hired Ty Monkey from the NFL. They just gave that man like $2 million a year. Yeah. You think Michigan finna spend $1 million on a coordinator?
Shit. Now with this NIL deal, they ain't gonna have those choices. Cause you gotta think, if your coordinator is not producing, ain't nobody gonna wanna come to your school like that.
Exactly.
So you either gonna pay it or you just gonna get used to losing.
So we're gonna see what they do.
Gonna be interesting to follow.
Most definitely. Till next time. Easy.
I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to them boys that sat on them benches, boy. I was in the game on 4 inches. Coach put me in the game on 4 inches. Put me in the game on 4 inches. Coach put me in the game on 4 inches. And I'ma lead them boys at the line